bit late. We're having a slight Nemo drama on the technology front, but I think we're away now. Leroy, can we confirm?
No. Your sound's a bit like you're weird.
Oh,
but not from a technology point of view. It just sounded like you were smacking the microphone.
I probably was. Does it
How
still
are
sound?
A little bit click. It's a little bit
That as
clicky.
well, let me try moving something. One sec.
Okay. Whoa! Now it's gone spaceman.
How's that? Any better?
Whoa! Yeah, I mean we're live. That's good.
Where did that swear come from?
What swear?
I thought I just heard the F word.
No. It was just you talking in delay over there somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, how are we? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, right? So before I do a cheers, I got a new glass.
Lovely.
I really like it. It was a Valentine's Day gift to myself.
A Valentine's gay gift? Did you?
Gay gift to myself, so it works.
Yeah, I like it.
It was only cheap. It was from Sainsbury's. I don't know how cool it look on here, but you see the colour of it.
Oh, look at that! It looks like Gaston's car.
Yeah, it's uranium or whatever it's called.
Yeah, very, very. What happens when you put alcohol in it? Have you tried it yet?
Well, we're just about to. I put water in it and it looked awesome. But I'm actually going to put wine in it though, because I haven't got any. So tonight, my tipple of choice is a.
Look at that Hop House lager.
Hop House. I love Hop House on draft. I don't often drink it out of the bottle, so we're going to try it right here live, like normal alcohol testing. Plus, it's a pretty damn big glass, so we're going to see how well it does.
It is a big glass, and it was actually top of my list of what we're doing tonight was wine review. It's actually written on.
Look at the colour of that.
That's quite good, isn't it? I like it.
Okay,
I don't like the audio. Is the audio driving everybody else mad as well, or is it livable? Or should we try doing a refresh?
I might try to do a refresh because it is a bit clicky and horrible, and that's almost a 650 ml bottle.
So that could be dangerous. And I've only had one glass. On his go.
Yeah, only had one glass, officer. Mr. Jones, if you're watching. But that's some pretty cool colour, that.
It is a cool colour. It is a cool colour. It's good to know it's actually the glass and not the drink as well, isn't it? It's not gone off.
And it's £4 from Sainsbury's if anyone's really keen on their glasses.
You stay there. I'm going to try a refresh, see if it fixes this clicking.
Okay.
And then if it doesn't my end, we'll try a refresh with you. We'll be back in 2 seconds, hopefully.
I'm still here, though, I think. So how is everyone? Good evening. My wonderful glass, as you can all see. I'll wait for John to come back before I do shout-outs. He's here.
I'm back. How is it? Any better?
Nope.
Do you want to try a refresh before we do a Leroy shout-out?
Yeah, I'm out of it.
Okay. What do I say now? Can I nick his feature? Do you think that would be all right? He might get upset with me. Although I could keep him out because I've got to feed him back in when I see him on the bottom end of the screen. How is everybody else's Monday going anyway? Anybody online? Hopefully you're having a good one. You had a good weekend, and Leroy's just about to join us, hopefully, with a blue screen. No, he's back.
And it sounds pretty good.
We'll go with that. I think that's a win. I was about to nick your feature, but I didn't.
I know. I was about to do it without you, and I didn't as well.
Right. So who have we got watching on the side, Leroy? Give us a shout out.
Oh my God! Why have you gone quiet now? What just happened?
Oh no! Have I gone quiet?
It was perfect for a split second. Then.
How about now?
No, it sounds like you're a couple of miles away.
Okay, you do the shout outs, and I'll keep tinkering in the background for a second.
All right. It's probably mine again. Right. So shouting out. Here we go. Craig Homer, you were online nice and early. Let's just make sure. Here we go. Yep. He says he's ready to rock. Well, I was until they call me back to work tomorrow, so that's no good. John, how's your audio?
You sound fantastic to me.
Oh, you sound miles away on mine.
Oh.
Should we get to the bottom of it and then I'll do a refresh? Oh, it's gone. Davey Roll was online. Nice to see you online early this evening, Davey. Evening, guys. Hope all is well. Nice looking body shell. It was a very nice looking body shell. We'll let John talk about that one. Hello.
Hello. Is that any better?
Perfect. Yeah, you're good now.
Awesome. What did I miss in that nanosecond of web space?
So not much. Davey Rolls says, evening, nice looking body shell.
Compliments to Mr. Talbertini. Paintworks, fame. Back to some similar colours to my old ones with a Talbertini take on it. Yeah, super pleased with that. I think they look very cool. So thank you very much, Mr. Talbot, if you're watching.
They do indeed. They look awesome. Kev Brunsden says, good evening, chaps. Love Kev, Claire and Lees.
That's the first time we've had love, isn't it?
I know. I say we've moved on.
We've moved on. We're into second base now.
We're in second base. You've always got to tell them you love them before you go further than that. Sarah Campbell, evening, guys, from Sarah and Craig. Evening, you two. Marcus Butler is online. He says, how's it going, fellas? And has the lockdown ended yet?
Sadly not. No, we're good. We're doing well. Trying to keep our pecker up, so to speak. Keep ends up and do what we can. But we're still in lockdown at the moment. Hopefully, not for too much longer. I think we're going to find out some more information on that on the 22nd, aren't we? Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, they did a little one this evening, didn't they? But they didn't really say much.
I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. Stay hopeful, basically. The Peter Gray is online. Hi, guys. Is it Monday? Hi, guys. Hi, is it? Hi, guys. Is it Monday already? Yeah, it is.
I couldn't believe that when I was writing it up to put it up earlier on. You just think it's Monday again, and another week is just. They are going quick. That's the only consolation. I think they do feel like they're going quite quick at the moment. Quick and long at the same time. It's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? But
I say it only feels like it goes quick because there's no real point in knowing what day it is.
That is true.
So yeah. James Mole is online. He says, evening, Louis 16. Nemo limited edition piece. I was talking about watches. I said maybe we could make a Louis limited edition piece. We could actually. Duncan Wrists online. He says, evening, Lee and John and Rumble, whenever he comes on. Chris James, evening, gents. Maliki and CJ are online.
Lovely.
Evening. Jonesy Cram is online. Not sure who he is. But evening to all the family. And maybe Lewis as well. Option RC is online. Who's Option RC?
Option RC. We're going to talk about Option RC a bit later on. Mr. Berryman. Good to see him online.
So we're going to talk about him a little later on. Lovely logo he's got there on his YouTube emoji thing.
I like it.
Martin Waters online says evening. Winston Barnett, yo guys. Lee Maggs online says evening, guys. And Derek McCloskey is online says evening, gents.
Hey, that's good to see Derek again. He was on the other week as well, wasn't he?
He was. He's getting into this technology thing.
I like it.
James Seabright is online. He says evening, James. Little Tim DeBell is online. Hello, mate. I guess I say your surname. Sorry, I'm not German. But I'm going with it. So how are you, Tim? He's one of our young Yokomo stars who's interested in getting into a bit of ape scale as well.
Good man. You see in the sense?
Yep. Charlie Lock RC is online. He says, oi, oi. Charlie boy. Duncan Haller is online. Duncan Haller.
Very nice to see him online as well.
Yep. And hello to little Max as well. Yep. Well, we're going to know them very well, aren't we, John?
We agreed.
Mr. Digger is online. He says, evening all. How's things? Not bad, Digger. Hope Scotland is not too cold.
Cold and snowy, I would imagine, a little bit.
Arvinder is online. Says, evening, guys. Evening, Arvinder. Craig Homer, what's he slapping around on there making that noise? Yeah, it was a bit like that kind of noise.
Bit of RCX.
Yeah. Duncan Haller says, yeah, that's the colour I'm going for, iridium, or whatever it is.
Pay a lot of money for things that are called iridium normally.
Yeah. Cheers, Dunk. Gavin, he's online. Gavin says, evening, guys. James Seabright, where's the pinky finger, Lee?
Where's what? Say that again. I was admiring the fact that I've got a nice bottle of wine tonight, and so I didn't really hear.
He said, where's the pinky finger? Yeah.
Where's the pinky
Throwing the pinky up. Throwing the pinky up, mate. David Belston is online again, our Welsh hero. He says, good evening, gentlemen. Hope you are well. Can't speak properly tonight. Brian Burrows, evening, chaps. Evening, carrots. Hope the West Country's all right, mate. All right. Robert Glenn's online, evening, fellas. In the middle of a blizzard in Illinois.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. And Billy as well. Billy was sending me some snow pictures earlier on. They've got a lot of snow in Texas, which is fairly rare, I believe.
Yeah, we were talking to the sister-in-law earlier, and they live on it's a far east side of Texas, an island called Galveston. It's on the coast, and she said it's the first time it snowed on the island of Galveston.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, madness.
We're talking about how Buddy was coping with it, and he was saying, "Well, we're coping with this as well as you'd cope with 45-degree heat you had in your summer," which was a fair point, really. The roads would be completely melted, wouldn't they?
I thought you were going to say he's coping with it as well as we're coping with COVID.
Yeah, well, that could be that as well.
Yeah. Where was I? Mike Hunt. At least Lee remembered the Nemo shirt. Yes.
Oh, yes. We were going to do Nemo shirts.
Well, I always do.
Send me a warning. Well, you always do. That is actually true.
I actually thought about it too. As I was getting ready, I thought, I wonder if John's going to remember.
I need to wash some.
Unless you've got the new Nemo shirt on.
Yes.
Alan Shawali. That's the first time I've heard that name. He's from Israel, so I don't know if it's your first time tuning in, but welcome, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome.
One of the only countries that's ahead of us on vaccines, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Is that right? Wow.
That's I think Israel are leading the way at the moment.
Very nice. Very good.
Duncan Hawley says, we can hear both of you perfectly, dude. Okay, cool. I'm obviously a bit slow tonight on catching up. Luke Bennett is online, says, good evening. Lee Talbot gives a wave or a high five, either one. It's worked for us.
Is that Talbotini?
Yes.
Hero.
Lyndon is online. He says, hi all. Good to see you guys looking well, I see. Good to see you too.
Yes, we'd love to see you. All soon. We will very, very soon.
Nicola Walker is online. So Talbot and Nikki are obviously on two separate phones at the moment.
Very nice. Good evening, Nikki. Nice to see you watching us ramble on about fish.
Thanks for bumping up our viewership numbers as well.
Yes.
If anyone can get their missus just to log on their own phone too, perfect.
And thank you for being so gracious in the amount of time that Lee has put into various bits of Nemo over the last year.
There you go. And Lee, I still need a body shop.
If you want to have a look at a nice one, there's one in nice colours at Nemo.
I know. Yeah, everyone's got these LMR bodies before I have. Jamie Clancy is online. He gives us a few peace signs. So Jamie Clancy, live N5RC is online again. Says good evening, gents. Simon Lee says locked in, locked up. The On Road podcast. I now know who the On Road podcast is. It's our friend Stuart Cartwright. I didn't know it was before. But yes, evening, sir. I hope you've pulled a beer up or poured a beer and drinking it.
I don't think you should drink any more of that.
No, it's going a bit crazy. It
comes with like speech impediment or something.
I think I had it before. The more I drink, the better it'll get.
Good. I like it.
Darren Warburton's online. He says, hi, everyone. Tesco's finest. You can read that bit, John.
Yeah, one of those.
Montepulciano d'Ambroso.
Yeah. Okay, good. We'll try one of those then. That sounds like good. Definitely worth trying Daz's recommendations. He's pretty good on his wine.
He looks into it. He says they're grown in the vineyards of the Abruzzo Hills, looking over the Adriatic coast. Adriatic coast, I would say. Adriatic coast.
Adriatic coast, yeah.
With juicy black fruit flavors with a chocolate finish. He's just read the label.
I was just going to say that's a copy and paste off Google, isn't it?
Yeah. Although I like his effort.
Yeah, very good.
Big Size online says, hello, boys. Quake is online. Quake, good evening to you, sir. Martin Hart, Action Man, he's online. Evening, chaps. Andy B. Andy B's quite late to the party.
Perhaps he was just secretly watching.
We're missing his jokes already. Evening from Blackpool, gentlemen. Manny Panassar gives a dab. And probably Manny's the last person I'd ever imagined to do a dab.
I would like to see Manny do a dab every time he gets to the top of the rostrum at Nemo, just to let everybody know he's here.
Who he was, yeah.
He's right.
Or if he walks the plank ever.
We should make one just for him.
So, Manny, you've got to get down from the rostrum to Marshall. There's your plank, mate. Just, there you go. He's off.
Lee's already turned his phone off, and Ant as well, if he's watching. He's like, that's an incoming text message. Can we do a?
Yeah. No. Have you heard of a plank before?
Yeah,
Phil Truman. Phil Truman is online. Good evening.
Good evening, my old Michael.
Alan says, yes, it is his first time checking in. And we met EOS. Okay, so I know exactly who he is now. He's got cool hair. Big throw on him, like big hair. Yeah.
I love that.
Nice guy. There we go. Nikki says, you're welcome for getting our viewership up. He says, I'm still jealous you got your worktops before I did. To be honest, we probably got a toilet before you did as well.
Oof. Oof.
Did you hear about the bucket?
No.
So Talbot was he was redoing his bathroom in their house for quite an amount of time. So Nikki had to flush the toilet using a bucket for about 1.5 years. Bless her. While Talbot's there just pooing in it.
Yes, exactly. Wow.
Yeah. He says he just likes making me wait. I'm now sure he's going to make me wait longer.
Yeah, exactly. Strike it from the registrar.
And he says, you know the way to his heart, and it's burgers.
Absolutely. Double Whopper. Double Whopper is the incentive for anything.
Whopper. WD-40 on me double Whopper.
Chips.
Craig Homer says, got to try the... Oh, man, stop giving these me Italian words to say. Valpoliccio, whatever it is. I posted a picture of it in the group the other day, and there we go. We're at the bottom. Apart from Alan saying
see that. Perfect. Awesome. Well, that was a good shout out. So we've got people watching, which is very, very nice. Have a drink, because that was a long session there.
Yeah.
One of the first times that we actually haven't properly spoken about this. Do you have a closet feature for this week running out?
So this is one of the first times we haven't spoken about it.
Yes.
And it's probably one of the coolest ones I have.
My goodness me.
I'm trying to get my phone. Ever since it switched away from this app, and I say it every week, it annoys me because it makes me look like a spaz, because I look at it and I try and react to make myself look better, but it's the wrong way round. And not the wrong way around as if it's facing me. It's like opposite to what it should be. So I want to go one way and I end up just going the other and sitting like
I wonder what about if we put a mirror by it?
Yeah.
That would fool.
It could definitely work, but yeah. Anyway. So last week, what did we have last week as a closet feature?
We had a little tiny trophy for a club meeting you did on right out.
Exactly. So this week I run about like a madman, and I got the car that I won that, well, not won, finished second place at that club race with.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Nice. Let's see it. Let's see it. Yeah,
I'm only going to show people if we get 25 thumbs up though.
Have we had any thumbs down yet?
Yeah, 1.
Awesome.
We're good. The analytics are doing well. So if we can get up to 25 thumbs up, I will show the car, and that's obviously a 30-second delay. So we're gonna have to talk rubbish for 30 seconds.
What's lovely about this software? I mean, I love this software that we use because I think it lets novices like us have an opportunity to do what we're trying to do half sensibly when it works. But it's also equally fun sometimes, because I can't really see, for some reason today, it's not showing me whether we've got 1 person online or 10 people online, or there's lots of stuff missing today. So I can't see thumbs up, thumbs down, nothing.
We're almost there. It's just starting to come through on people's laptops, I'm sure. We're at 24, 1 more needed.
What were you doing for 25?
27. There you go. We've whacked straight up.
We've done a lot of things for 25 thumbs up before. I'm fairly sure.
It's 25 thumbs in something that I want to know about.
Lord.
So it's in a bag. It's in a bag. This does not get shown or seen very often at all.
Does it not?
No.
Have I seen this? I don't think I've seen that.
You probably have never seen this. As I say, I'm trying to show you the car. I'm taking it away from actually what I want to do.
Okay.
So here we go. Here she is. 35 thumbs up now. Must have worked. Oh. Look at this, baby.
I've definitely never seen that. And it actually looks quite cool. The body shell and everything looks good.
So I designed this body.
I don't like the body shell. Everything else is all right, but the body shell looks
dick. So yeah, I designed this body for Proline back in the day when we were just starting to go to mid motors. It was called the Phantom.
Okay, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool from the side. It gave a lot of good steering. You know,
yeah.
These LMR bodies that have just come out. I have actually been designing bodies for many years. Look,
and the front cab positioning looks very similar to what I've seen come from your mind recently too. So there's a
definitely got a concept behind it all. So it's still scratched up. I mean, this is as it come off the track. Apart from putting tyres on it, I put a fresh set of rears on it. The fronts aren't as we used, but the rears were like bald after a run, so it looked nicer with a fresh set. I probably haven't took the body off in 5 years, maybe. So I've got to be careful because the Velcro's coming unstuck a little bit.
Good Lord. Right there, Leroy. That's pretty cool.
Hold on. We're getting there. Again, no, the Velcro's not loving me. I need to like glue it back on or something. Anyway, it's off. For a sec. So here's the body shell. Ta-da!
Dun, dun.
Dun, da-da. There you go. Here's the car, which I do need to like put a bit of glue back on the Velcro, which is disappointing.
Why don't you have these on like display? That's got to be worthwhile, taking down most of the pictures in the house and putting that up instead.
I know. I was going to do a lockdown task of making a display in the spare room. But
you know who you need for that? If you want like really spunky glass cabinets, you need to speak to Mr. Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Does he know about glass?
He knows a man.
Okay.
Or Mother Rumble knows a man that will do some very, very cool things.
That's cool. I will speak to him. So here it is. As you can see, it's got a lot of Tamiya blue on it.
Very cool.
So there's a bit of a story behind it.
Those lipos those lipos have been in there since what?
Yeah,
since it ran.
Yeah, they come off leg free and didn't come out the car.
Wow.
Like everything. Like all my cars was out there saying they've all got everything in them. Some of them were still plugged in. Viper speed controller. Viper don't exist anymore. They now are McLaren.
Right. Okay.
Didn't
they stiff Darren Viper?
No, they never sponsored him. I don't think.
Did they not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a funny story about this car. So we never had a mid-motor car. I used the Vega, which we've spoken about many times, like the conversion. And before this Worlds, we knew we needed a mid-motor, but I didn't know how it was going to go. So I actually built my own two-wheel, and I used like Kyosho parts because the Kyosho mid-motor car was quite good at the time. And then I turned up, and they gave me some bits that somewhat copied my Vega, almost, but like added their own little twist to it. And I had no idea what it was going to be like. And then I tried it at a track like just before the Worlds. We went a little bit early and tested, but it rained. So we had to run on this small little pony indoor track. And I threw it around. It actually went round all right. And then from practice one, it was absolutely dialed. And just got really lucky. Really lucky. It's really cool. All the blue on it. I'll do a proper video soon. Obviously.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very, very cool.
It's got a nice place in my heart. Obviously, this is the LMR wing at the time as well. And we were doing the dual wing, which not many people were doing then. So it's got a separate piece inside.
Yeah.
So I made that and had that on there. And
what year was that? I know we discussed it last time, but
2013.
13.
Yeah, you see the IFMAR 13 on the wing there.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So she is. It's pretty awesome, man. I say I never look at it. Even like the thing I love about the Tamiya stuff, the shocks are so good. Like it still feels good now.
Yeah, I think someone said that on the side. I saw it come in to say, what about the oils and stuff? Because these cars do tend to seep their oils out after a while, don't they? And then
as it come off, no leakage.
Okay,
all good.
You need to send those seals into Yokomo so that they can work out their shock seals.
Yeah, I know, right?
You could be like one of those customers that you sometimes get. Well, I've got shock seals and they're 8 years old or 13 years old and they never leak.
Yeah, there you go. You've got some Tamiya ones in there, bro.
Exactly.
It still feels like,
Very
honestly,
cool.
like the shocks still feel awesome. Like, I would run that now.
You look excited bouncing that up and down, which is good
cool.
to see.
It's cool.
Enthusiasm is strong one, as they would say.
It would probably, like, if I did it too much, it would probably burst and oil would go everywhere. And
It definitely deserves more than a paper bag. It looks like something that you should put your can of beer into.
Well, if you want to sponsor me for some glass cabinets, or anyone online wants to sponsor me for some glass,
we'll corner Rumble, and I've got a couple of things that I'd like a glass case for as well. So we'll get him cornered up sometime and make it happen.
Cool. I've got about
You watching?
10 of them that I'll need to put in a box. I do want to do it, and it is something I really want to do. But
yeah, it would be cool having it in a glass box mounted on the wall, right.
With some little LED lights that light up the glass.
Liz is already excited about that prospect. I can feel the excitement coming through.
Yeah, me too. I even said to her,
"We're coming through that door in a minute."
Our spare room's a little box room. You never have to sleep in there because I kicked the kids out of their room instead. But I wanted to almost do like a shelf all the way around the top and then backlight it and then a glass front so you could see it. But she wasn't keen.
I think you should do it. I like it.
Yeah.
We'll sponsor it.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
By NemoRacing.
Look at that.
Very, very cool closet feature that, mate. So yeah, fantastic. So what we're going to on to next? Some news, I guess. What's been going on in the world of us in the last week? We've had I've written a few things down. We've had MIP restock, which is good.
MIP, yeah, you know me.
Worthy, but it's back in the house, which has been quite a drama to get those in. Nice to see that. Our fuel guns back in again in good quantity, in sensible quantity as well. And 6mix accessories arriving as well. We haven't got our pre-glued tyres in yet since we announced being exclusive with 6mix, but they're working on those. I fully understand, so it's not going to be long until they're in as well. But accessories are in, so
yeah, really... accessories are in. They had a bit of a backlog for pre-glueds. And we know you guys love pre-glued, so we thought it best to wait rather than get unglued. So definitely, as no one's actually allowed to race at the moment. So.
It's just what I was going to say. With no racing on, then yeah, absolutely makes sense. The pre-glued product is the way forward, isn't it? That was hard for me to say. The biggest news that was so exciting today, and I left HQ very buoyed, which was nice because it's been a long slog since Christmas. This one, the weather's been crap. We're in lockdown. It's been freezing cold every day. We've been flooded for a big period of it, whether it's been with rain or then the snow that then thaws out and everything else. And when we turned up today, after Mr. Truman had done a little bit of magic for a while, in a moment you're going to see it pop up. A couple of pictures. The track was actually dry today, which feels like, I don't know, the temperature went up 10 degrees, the sun was out. It just felt like there's hope at the end of this tunnel that we've all been in for it feels like such a long time, probably longer than it actually has been. But we were looking back, actually. I mean, our last race was in October.
Well, you think like, yeah, we've only been in lockdown since the start of January, but we haven't because we've been in tier 4s and tier 3s.
Yeah, exactly.
We've actually been end of November. We've been locked in. So
yeah, end of November. So one pic. I'll just flick it onto the next one as well. And so to see, I don't know, to have a bit of warmth in the air, to see it dry and clean and looking really, really good. Phil's worked absolutely tirelessly on that over the period of time of multiple floods and everything else to keep it as close to being able to run on as possible at any time. Obviously, you guys have seen we did our promo video as well in the snow and in the rain and stuff. It's been a relentless task. So yeah, that definitely made me. I left the track today feeling like really positive. Like we're nearly somewhere. You know, we're coming to the end of it. We're expecting this. We're all expecting a nice announcement coming up soon of how lockdown is going to start. You know, finally easing off, and I'm sure it's going to be the how we did before, which was 6 people and all that sort of stuff. It's going to follow a similar pattern, I would have thought. But we are going to be absolutely ready for day one of whenever we can welcome people to the track again, and it's going to be in tip-top condition when you come.
Yeah, I was the same today. I was super excited. The temperature made a massive difference.
Didn't it feel different today?
It felt like spring when you get excited to go. Right, even the smell in the air was like different today. Yeah, maybe this is the world saying, you know what,
time. It's definitely time. It felt
we're getting close. Yeah, it was awesome, and I wanted to throw my car on the track and all sorts, but let's see what
we're nearly ready. We're nearly ready for that. We've got some new prototype stuff to test as well coming up soon. So we never stopped all the way through. We've been working hard in the background and all that sort of stuff. So to see the track almost at a position where it's really viable data to run on it and actually get feedback, we'll be there, of course.
We'll be fine. Let me chuck my dog out. He's snoring again. Can you hear him?
I couldn't this time, but I've been babbling on. So
okay, come on. You go out there. Go on, yes, good boy. You get out. You want your moment? Hold on. Have you ever seen a scuba diving dog?
Let's give him some screen time. Go for it.
Have you ever seen a scuba diving dog?
No.
Here's Scuba Steve.
What the hell? He's in a onesie. What the actual?
This is she. This is Sky. Scuba Sky.
Sky. Teddy would be disappointed.
She keeps scratching her stomach, so we've got to try and find something. And then obviously Rocket gets his 10 minutes fame too. There you go, Rock.
Why can't he have a suit with a little bow tie on it or something?
He could, but he's perfect. He doesn't really do anything silly.
Yeah, would just look cooler on Instagram if he had a bow tie on. He just can't.
He would. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'll get it for him.
Good. We want to see that coming soon to a Nemo Live.
Yeah.
Rocket with a bow tie on. So on that bombshell, we've done our mini news items for the week of stuff coming in and our excitement of track and all that sort of stuff. The next thing I've got on my list is something that is relatively new for us. We've been trying to find a way. Now we've got the track. It takes up quite a lot of our time and everything else. How we could keep our foundation, our core of Nemo, which is to support our guys that come in and choose our products. There's a good choice out there. It's not like, there's 2 or 3 products that are good and the rest are rubbish. There's a lot of good products out there. And like I did in the beginning with Nemo, I strongly believe that support is a massive part of that. So we've been thinking, how could we, keep that support level up as we move into a year, hopefully without restrictions and all those other, things that we've had to deal with, where the track's going to be active. There's going to be lots of races on around the country. So we come up with having some premier partners, basically, of Nemo, which are other shops or other people that are trackside, that are very active in the communities, that perhaps we can't get to on a regular basis. And I'm delighted to say that program started. We've got our first 2 people on board that are going to be trackside representing all of our brands, whether that be a Gamma or Bullet, Beta, Piranha, everything basically, LMR. And so I wanted to just give a little bit of a feature for those guys. The first one is RCP. Leroy, tell us a little bit about RCP and where they are and where they're based and what they do.
So RCP, they kind of started getting familiar with us at the end of or middle of last year, didn't they?
Yep.
And good guys. I've known them for quite a long time. Ian Gillespie and Andy Pierce.
Yeah.
Really run a really tight ship. Really what Nemo's about. All their stuff's very professionally done. As a shop, very good, very awesome with deliveries, everything like that.
Yeah.
In the Midlands, based around kind of Brookthorpe, anything around the Midlands really is where they're going to be.
Brookthorpe, Ledbury, and all of those kind of tracks, aren't they? They're really active with that. One of the best things for me, obviously, they were fairly heavily involved with the Mugen platform, and they're not exclusive with us by any means. They do lots of other bits and pieces as well. But the main man, one of the main men, Ian, is running our stuff, which is fantastic. And so they will be trackside, giving levels of support to comparable to what we do with Nemo at tracks that we sometimes can't get to. So delighted to have those guys on board for fuel, for engines, for obviously the Gamma car as well, which is our main thing really. So yeah, massive welcome to them. Like you said, we've been getting to know them towards the end of last year. Really nice guys, fit our profile perfectly, and they're gonna knock it out the park in those clubs, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. They're going to be awesome. I say go over and say hello. If you ever see them at the track, make sure you go and say hello and check the products out.
Exactly. And any of these guys that are premier partners that we team up with, and we've obviously got quite a lot of trade accounts that are with us, and they're always welcome, and we'll always help them as much as we can as well. But these are the guys that are going to be putting in that cut above the norm and doing more than just stocking a couple of parts. They've got a full range of what's going on, basically, of our products. And at tracks that we can't regularly get to as well. And if you buy, any of the kits and stuff from these guys, our offer for this year stands exactly the same as if you'd bought it from NemoRacing. So you'll get full access to the track for a year. You'll also get full access to coming to use it whenever there's not a race on. You can go online, book your session. It's free of charge for you. And come and just lean on us, basically. Come and use the experience and the daftness that I'm sure that we can bring as well in equal measure, and try and make you have as much fun and as much help out of the hobby as you can. All of that is exactly the same whether you buy the cars, as I said, through us or through any of our premier partners. So that's a little introduction to RCP. I know a lot of guys watching this will probably know them, and if you don't, go and check out their website and see a little bit about them. Next one, somebody new into the industry, very hungry. Obviously, someone that's close to yourself, Leroy, and myself in the past. Ran our stuff for a long time. Very supportive guy, super friendly chap. Went away, tried some different cars to see what it's about, and delighted to say that has come back to us. We'll be running the full package of the Gamma cars and products himself, and then also as part of the product range that he's going to be doing is our own, in a way, our very own Mr. Sean Berryman. who has started his business, Option RC. Sean's based on the Isle of Wight, so unique in that sense. It's a completely different island, ultimately, that he's going to be there and having a full, range of the stuff to go after everybody and service everybody and help everybody at their clubs and tracks, 8th scale and 10th scale. And then, as we know, he's over at every single race that matters really into the UK as well. Very active with the SRS series and all of those, really southern tracks. We could go to Clamfield or South Coast as well. Got a great range of accessories coming himself as well, which he's worked hard with. We've seen some previews of that, so wish him big success with everything. And he's going to be our next premier partner. That's going to, all the bits that you can get through us, you'll also be able to get from Sean, and he'll be trackside at races that we're not to support as well.
Yep, 100%. It's awesome news. As I say, as we really push to help these partners, when we have our track, we can't get to every race around the country all the time. So these guys are really going to be making the extra effort to make sure all our customers are supported. Never feel like you can't go and speak to them about our products, because we're going to give them all of our knowledge so that they can help all the customers better and really make the experience a much greater package, I would say.
Definitely. An extension of us is how I see these guys as well. Like I said, we've been lucky to deal with some good guys in the trade over the 10 years of Nemo. And, our business model changed basically when we got the Raceway. Before the Raceway, it was always about finding a track somewhere every single weekend and going out and doing the support. And we're conscious that that's obviously what's made Nemo what it is today. And I think, love us or hate us, I think that we do get behind our guys as much as we possibly can that are running our product at any race that we can get to. And so I didn't want that focus to go away from that just because we've got our own track. I want to make sure that, if you're racing at Hearts, if you're racing at South Coast, if you're racing at Brookthorpe, wherever it may be, you've got that support there. Even if we're not there ourselves, you've got, it's not a second bench. You've got just as good as us there. And yeah, they're just cool guys. The two of those are cool guys. Hopefully we're going to find a good partner in the north as well. That's currently missing a little bit. We've got some good shops that we deal with, but we just don't want just a shop. We want someone that's going to be trackside at all of those big races. So we're going to be working on that. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, that could be me, then drop us a mail and we'll come back to you.
Yeah. And one also thing, we're going to hopefully, where there's not a shop, we're going to have people, aren't we? We're going to have representatives that can
absolutely
make sure that everyone's happy with their product. If you are running the Gamma car at a track and it's not going so well, those are the guys you're going to go and see and say, oh, help me, what can I do, what can I change? And if they can't help you, for sure, within 10 minutes, they'll have an answer from one of us guys on how to fix any problems you ever have. So we're just trying to bridge that gap between guys that, would get the car and then maybe get a little bit lost on what to do with it. We're bridging that gap as much as possible so that no one ever struggles running their RC cars.
Definitely. And as we come out of lockdown, it may be that we have to be on low numbers for some of these meetings. So there might be multiple races on the same time, because that just might be the way it works. So with this system, we're going to be able to reach everybody, give that support. And if you're, if you are one of our guys and you're trackside and you feel like, well, actually, we don't see the support, let us know. Come and, let us know and see we'll see what we can do to work with that and make that work. Like you say, our local heroes. It was the foundation of Nemo, trying to find just people that are helpful, genuine, nice people, and build it from there up. So in some ways, it's almost going back to our roots with that. People like Barclay in Ireland, for example, an absolute standout for me. They're there at every race that they can possibly get to, and they just help everybody out. There's no financial thing in it for Barclay to do that. That's what he chooses to do, and it's finding those guys so that we can keep spreading that Nemo love, and then also welcome them all into the into HQ and coming and doing our races and all that sort of stuff as well. The track is there for everybody. Obviously, it's even sweeter when we see someone that's running a Gamma or Bullet or Beta Piranha, all those other brands that we've worked so hard for as well. But yeah, I'm super excited with where we're going with all of that. I think it's going to really give a level of support that is unrivaled. Hopefully, we'll be working away to try and make that happen.
100%.
I'm going to have a glass of wine, but we'll drink wine.
Yeah.
On now. It's normally you that does all the talking.
I know. I'm just chilling out over here. I can't even get my words out anyway. So.
I'm really excited about it, honestly. I mean, I think you probably can see the passion come through me. I'm a heart on the sleeve kind of chap. And I'm excited. I just want to get back out there for these guys and get going and doing these races and showing everybody that we can the products that we've got, because I'm passionate about what we do. I think we've got some fantastic stuff. And however, you're only as good as the people that you're surrounded by, ultimately.
Yep. Well, I was talking to some guy the other day actually, and it wasn't 8 scale. It was in a different class, but it was just saying like it was so hard to get information out of people. And I said to him like that's the exact opposite of what we're trying to do. It's like the more info we can get out to everyone, the more everyone's going to enjoy the hobby. Like stuff that it's that it's this team against that team. Everyone's got to enjoy the hobby. If you don't enjoy the hobby, we're not going to grow. So.
Yeah, and then there won't be enough people left to do it, and then we won't all be here, which would be very sad. So definitely share the love, as they say.
Yeah, share love.
Share the love, shall we? We're at. We've done all right. We've done this is good. It's been. I'm pumped for this one. There's. I was to say that the looking at a dry track is clearly what I need to get excited again about RC.
Dry track, a bit of warmth, some alcohol.
Exactly. Yeah, bit of Chateau Neuf de Pat.
Yeah.
It all comes together.
Hot
So we've got quite a few questions. Well, I've got quite a few questions that have come from our team forums and stuff. I'm sure hopefully there's some stuff coming on the side. If there's not, guys, get asking some questions so we can move into our next segment. I'm trying to come up with a catchy, rotten throwaway line for our question time feature, and I haven't quite got there this week. I've had some good ideas, but they were a bit offensive for all of us. So I thought I probably wouldn't do that. Not so much for you. It's probably worse for me and Rumble, really. Should we bring in Rumble? It must be time to bring in Mr. Rumble if we can find Mr. Rumble. Let's see. We don't know. We literally don't know whether he's in a car, whether he's at home, whether he's on a plane. He's a man of mystery, so it could be anywhere. I need to copy that link and fire it into the man, which hopefully he's watching. He might not even be watching because I think
he'll always be watching.
I hope so. I think he was still watching when he wasn't really Nemo. Well, he wasn't, but he was just sort of hiding for a minute or three. See if he pops up on my bottom. Now, everybody, that would be the first time. Just getting it out there. Okay.
So while you're just messing about, there's a couple of questions I'll just answer. Yep. Quake. He says he forgot to ask, where do we get our bodies painted? So ourselves and most people at Nemo use Mr. Talbertini. Lee Talbot is RC, Paintworks. He's on Instagram. I think it's just Paintworks, isn't it, on Instagram? Which the works is spelled WERX.
I'm not one of the cool kids, so I couldn't verify that.
But that's pretty much what it is. But if you struggle, mate, just send me a message and I'll find you his direction. I know you're in the States, but shipping's not expensive these days.
No.
Bomber podcast, our mate Stu. Yes, I have the lipo sat in the car for. Well, that's not 5 years now, is it? That's 8 years. Long time.
It is a long time.
I'm hoping it would have blown up by now if it was going to.
Yeah. Afternoon, chaps.
Hello, Mr. Rumble.
How are we doing?
I'm all right. You?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm pleased to hear. I'm pleased to hear.
Is John still talking?
No, I was just taking the.
Oh, okay.
I thought this could be the week. I was excited as soon as I heard you corresponding with Rumble. I was like, this could be the week.
We're getting somewhere.
We've got somewhere tonight, man. Something's happened today. I'm telling you, there's a switching point.
There is a switching point, and the switching point is now that there's two of you to talk to each other, I can go to the toilet because I've been needing to go for a wee for about 15 minutes. So I should have brought this feature in earlier. So I'm off now. You two, yeah, whatever.
How are we doing, Leroy?
All right, boy. You have a nice trip home?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Easy. The car's liking. It's liking the warmer weather. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It is thankful. It is definitely thankful for a little bit more warm.
Like 20 degrees and up, we'll be fine.
Oh God, well, I'll do about 1,000 miles on a charge. At the minute, about 200. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a bit of summer.
I'm just reading through some questions. Maybe you can answer some.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Sorry. No, I'm not asking that
Lockdown 3.0 has been brutal. That's from our mate Stu. Yeah, as Stu. It's going to be 13 degrees over here this weekend. Can't wait to fly the buggy over the track for the first time in months. Says, is there an age? Stu says, is there an age where you can't wear your hat backwards anymore?
Well, clearly not.
I haven't got to it, Stu, but you might be there, mate.
Oh,
Hey,
touche.
touche. He shaved his head the other day. That's not right.
Chew on that. My hat would fit my. Yeah, I'm getting close. I'm getting close to just shaving all my hair. I'm waiting till the 22nd. That's going to give me an idea of timelines.
Why?
And then it's all coming off.
Because it's not even long at all.
Oh no, it is. I do a very good job of continuing to recede on a daily basis.
Oh, you're not going to go bald, are you?
Yes, 100%.
Oh,
John used to revel in this fact of my
Nothing at all. Have you seen
my
this?
my yeah. It was at least we were in the club together. It wasn't an exclusive. It wasn't exclusive to me. That is for sure.
It was probably something like, Rumble, this is a glimpse of your future, boy.
Here we go, Rumble. Let's have a little look how it's doing today. Oh,
you mark it with a pen each time.
Yeah. Like the height on a door frame. It was it just went degrees from horizontal. Terrible, really. It was normally probably if we were in a nightclub or something, and John had about 38 Chateauneuf de Papes, and he'd say, Rumble, how's your hair? He'd run his hands through my hair like this, and just
don't try and claim in the
bring. He would actually
law that you didn't like.
With tension. He would create my hair to recede further, and then also he'd ruin my fro, and that's why I never would pull in a nightclub. That was why.
That was why. That was the reason, was it? Okay, good.
We'll go with that.
From my memory, you do quite well, and for about the first 2 minutes, and then I'd be like, right, Rumble, you need to stop talking now. And
that was it.
Just carry on,
100%.
No, that doesn't sound like Mark.
No, exactly.
They all love it.
Possibly the nicest girl I've ever seen in my life, as such.
Yeah, she's quite nice. Yeah.
So, Mark, I'll give you a question to answer while I read the rest of the comments.
Good.
Dan Locker says, looking on Nemo website, are the Mugen pre-oiled air filters actually Mugen ones? Go.
Yes, they are. They are they're the Mugen oval shape. Yes, they are. They are. For a very stock,
for a very, very small moment there, I thought you were actually just going to answer that with yes.
I did. I was scared. I was like, I haven't read anything yet.
I was excited. I was like,
you are both mugs. If you believed that this was going to be a one-word answer.
So someone's asking if we've ever tried emulsion shock caps on the truggy.
All the time.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Back in the day, we were running those. I seem to remember.
Yeah. 6-hole 1.5 emulsion shock cap, stock spring, just sensational. And I just remember, and John will know what I'm about to say because I actually think I might be like a broken record about this. Is the truck 6-hole 1.5s emulsion shock caps, the back jump at which track, John?
Go on, you put me on it now.
3D track.
Paddy Piston.
Yes.
No,
I would have probably with Paddy.
Clamfield. The back jump that goes into the left hand, the left hand.
The switchback into the start.
The switchback, yeah. And it would you could fly the truck almost to that apex and it would hit almost it.
Into Tony's heart.
Yes. Yeah. Almost into Tony and race control.
If we had a radio glitch, we'd have been in trouble, I think.
God, it would have been in the field. It'd have been in the porta potty.
Oh my God. It would have stayed there as well.
It would have. It'd have been
no one's
getting
their fingernails out of there, are they? Let's be honest.
No.
Like everybody's toes is still there as well. But
it would definitely be. It would definitely be new kit time. Mark, but we just built this kit for this race. New kit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very good. So they do work.
Yeah.
I think maybe with the way that the tracks have evolved now, Leroy, I think probably you might even start just a standard. I'm very excited to see a truck on a prepped. I'm excited to see you with a truck on a prepped Nemo Raceway and see what that does. I think it's exceptionally fast and exceptionally fun as well. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Stop, I reckon, right now.
You're lucky it didn't get around there today, mate. I'm telling you.
I saw you were twitching. I did see you were twitching.
Yeah. Ready.
Was it ready?
It was.
The truck energy at the minute is very strong, and I'm pleased to see it.
Yeah.
And I think it sort of feels. I mean, it we made a conscious choice about a month ago that we really needed to try and do something with the truck class because it's underutilized. It doesn't really get the support that it deserves.
No.
And there are so many people that like new faces around, which obviously I've seen all of these new faces, or that some are new to me. That like literally didn't even know a truck existed. They wouldn't even know the scale of it relative to a buggy or any of those things, or how it drives. And it's an amazing experience driving a truck.
Cool.
It's
it.
I think actually that obviously buggy is the premier race. It's the racing class, but actually truck is truck not more better?
I've always said if you had a newbie come down and they didn't have any preconceptions of anything, and you gave them a nitro buggy, an e-buggy, and a truck, and you just go and have a go with that, see what you think. I'm fairly sure if they didn't have the stigma, which is wrong, attached to it, they would choose a truck each time because it's just fun. And when you make an error, it's not a massive error. You just kind of bumble over it, and so
over the pipe. You're right.
And obviously, don't get me wrong. Nitro is always going to be the one, but it's fantastic to see or try and help be part of that movement. And it's not just us; it's all the other guys as well. I'm sure, they'll be going, well, we've been trying to do that for ages and all that sort of stuff. But great, fantastic, keep doing it because we want it to grow for everybody, regardless of manufacturer that is your choice of weapon as such. Let's get them all there and get back to the glory days of trucks of 100, 120 trucks at a national. I absolutely remember those days. And yeah, they were just as legitimate as a nitro national.
They had their own,
wasn't it?
It wasn't the e-buggy and truck national. It was just the truck national.
Yeah, because e-buggies didn't
really
exist at that time.
Yeah.
That was just all trucks. It was a popular class, and I mean, obviously, it's massive in the States still. So guys that are watching this in the States probably think we're mad. What are we talking about? Because the truck class is a popular class over there. In Europe, it never really fully got going for whatever reason, and it really should. We've covered this before. I think some of that is the price of the tyres, which we've tried to do with the 6-mix stuff, pre-glued truck tyres. They're going to last forever and a day as well. So, and I think if the majority of us are on the same tyre, that's going to be a winner as well. Like we've discussed internally so many times about controlled tyre races and how good they are, because it takes that whole
element of crap.
Yeah, exactly. I think inherently that possibly might happen a bit with this truck racing stuff at the moment, because we've got something. Obviously, it's going to be very good because it's a 6-mix product. We're going to back it to the hilt, so that it's going to be in stock and all that other stuff, and it's relatively sensibly priced as much as it can be, given how long they last. They're obviously a bit more.
I think that's the thing that unless you say it to everyone, or unless I guess they see it from a reliable source, because anyone can say anything, it doesn't really mean anything. But we know that a set of truck, if I look at a good example, is obviously one of the things that I obviously have to do is just manage, previously when we were very strong with tires, obviously managing all of the tire budget, tire budgets, and then all of the reporting for that. When I was specifically doing yours, John, obviously you race truck a lot. I would look at the figures of truck tires and just be like, right, well, that's 8 pairs. Okay, no problem. 8 pairs for how long? Oh, yeah, this is like a
very long
half-year report. And you're like, compared to umpteen buggy tires. A truck tire, I think, probably lasts, I don't even know, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times as long as a buggy tire. I think they just last so much longer. So actually, I think truck tires, even in whatever price point, they actually represent better value for money relative to longevity.
They probably do. It's just like you said, and
convincing them.
Leroy will confirm on that. It's just letting people know that is the case. Yes, they're expensive to buy them relative to a buggy tire to start with, but you are going to buy them, and you'll still be using those in a very long period's time as well.
Yeah,
and I think due to the size of them, the weight of them, are actually less crucial
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
You've
I
got a massive rubber touching the floor. It's less crucial if they're brand new or not. You can just keep running them. So.
Especially
100%.
through your competition, because it doesn't matter what tyres they're on then, does it? When
Yeah,
they're up
exactly.
for,
When they're a lap behind.
I was just reading down the sides a few good points. Maybe we should get the obviously Extreme E series about to kick off. Maybe they should make a body shell. Looks like the Extreme E cars.
Yeah, I think that would be very cool. I think there's possibly some merchandising opportunities in that.
Yeah. Well, our man Duncan Hall, who is online talking about it too, he is flying out to the Extreme E series because he's being one of the drone pilots for it. So.
To equip him with a truck and
yes, we'll send you with a truck, mate, and see what you can sell into Jensen Button and his team.
Exactly. He's a fellow Bicester boy, so
yeah. And I think he's doing it for Jensen's team as well.
Nice. I like it. That's got some opportunity there, I reckon, mate.
I agree.
Yep.
Good.
But yeah, truck. And I think the original point was, I think there's quite a bit of energy around the truck, and whether if we've helped that or we've been a catalyst for that, fantastic. If we haven't and it's random, also good news, because it's the same goal, isn't it? So exactly. I've seen like Simon Reeves has got a truck all built ready to go, and nice. I saw someone else who's also posted up they've got their truck going.
To be fair with Simon, he's a good advocate of running all the classes that are available. You know, he does that religiously. To be fair to him, you know, he's a good driver. He's at Westmill every meeting. He's there when possible, that I see anyway, running as many classes as he can, and I think that's good. So
yeah, he's always running like the e-buggy class and stuff.
Exactly.
He just loves it, mate. He just loves it.
Exactly. Exactly.
We all do.
All love it.
More.
So Duncan says he's happy to have a free truck. It's for the live TV he's doing the drone stuff for, apparently.
Perfect. Look at that.
There we go.
Big stickers on the side of it.
Incoming.
So, do we want to carry on the questions on the side or run through the ones that I've got?
I've got one more. I want to ask it before we move on. Okay. And it was our man Davey Rolls. He says, what is the point with the 1020 diff gears? What do they do? How do they change the car on the track? Same question with the undrive. So I know we spoke about diff gears.
Got one rule. Don't let Rumble answer that one. You've got to answer it.
I was just going to say, we've had this before, and Rumble answered it quite well. I was going to let him do it, but no.
Very good. Very eloquently and everything else, but it's your turn this week.
We ain't got time.
We ain't got time, mate. We ain't got time. These guys want to go to bed.
This week.
So, Davey, the obviously our car comes with 1018. 1018 is always good for your average kind of driver, I would say. It makes the car nice and easy to drive, and it's much better for up to the pro driver in low grip conditions. I think when you can benefit from having 1020 is when the track gets good amounts of traction. Basically, what the 1020 does is it will hydro-lock more when you get on the throttle when you're trying to use the diff. So what it will do is it will drive forward harder, and then when you let off, it will free roll. So it will turn around the corners quicker, and it will drive forward harder. When that doesn't work is when the grip's low, it tries to drive the wheels forward, but you'll just drift all over the track, and it will make the car hard to drive. So if you've got good grip, like for Astro in the dry and stuff like that, I think they're very, very good thing to have. And it does make a big difference. In the lower grip condition, I would be back on standard diffs.
I would say alarmingly so. The difference between the two, you can feel like instantly when you drive out of the pit. And defending the track, you can convince yourself, either one is the best thing that you've ever tried ever in the world. And we've said this before on this. We did it with Bloomfield when we went to We'd convinced ourselves at Paddy Piston, which was a high grip track, and we'd put them in very early days of doing that sort of testing, and we were so much quicker with them, weren't we, Mark? Do you remember it was like a second and a half lap or something? Yeah, and that's at Darren and Mai's pace as well, which was fairly decent at the time. We were like, wow, that's a revelation. And we went to Blackpool, and we were nowhere on a low. It was low traction at that time. We were absolutely peeing in the wind. Like, how can we? One week have something that feels so good, and now be literally like Darren was scraping into an A final. I seem to remember.
It was. I remember being in pit lane and just being like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, where are the 1018s?
Here last night and jumped off it. Yeah. And to be fair, it was Darren was like, I'm not convinced on this. This does not feel like I've been racing, and he took them out, and I can remember being almost like, I don't know why you're doing that, because I felt like we'd proved something, and he took them out and then went and TQ the next round. So it's very easy to mob yourself off with stuff like that. It's incredible, and I love this about RC, but it's also frustrating about RC just how much difference those sort of things make. Because it is wild when you think, it's in essence they look exactly the same in your hand, but a couple of teeth different, having that diff rotation at a different speed just swaps things up massively. So I agree 100% with Leroy. If your tracker's got loads of traction in it, or it's high traction, put those in and you are going to go faster. There's absolutely no doubt about it. You'll have more turn in, it'll get on the gas quicker, you'll just be faster with doing nothing different whatsoever. If you put them in on a loose track, on a wet track, you will probably be wheel spinning everywhere. Unless you've got Leroy's finger, your finger could get away with most things, Leroy. That's what I'm saying.
And
the rest of us, less so.
So the question I have is, and this is to Lee, it's a bit technical, and it might well, maybe it's a stupid question. There are no stupid questions.
Exactly.
So obviously 1020 means that 1020 is just obviously a 1 to 2 1 to 2 division. So it means it'd be 1 to 1. So if you turn one wheel and operate the diff, then the other wheel will do also one complete turn. Does that then mean with a 1018 that when you do that one complete turn one side, then it will only have gone whatever the rotation is with an 18? So it's not 1 to 2 or 1 to 1.
Yeah, but I don't think that's all the reason why they work different.
No. I think the shear is clearly something, the shear of the oil. Yeah. But it's just about, because just trying to get my head around it as well. The division or the actual
I mean that should be the division when you look at the ratio. But the actual size of the gear is far more beneficial, I would say.
Yeah,
how big it is,
fills the diff cup. Yes,
I think like that outside wheel with the more teeth on it has to move quicker to get through.
Yeah.
So that motion there makes it do that motion.
Yeah. And when it's got that grip to work.
Correct. Yeah. If
otherwise,
not,
it just
you're spinning that up, and the neck, you're just going to slide more. Basically. Yeah. That's what I see.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did when I was with the Infinity car, we did a lot of diff testing, and it's shocking the difference.
Yeah.
With the same gear number, 1020, because most cars use 1020, with the same gear number, what different gears actually do to a way a car drives is pretty mad.
Yeah, because I think even with the same ratio, clearly different sizes, different tolerances, shears.
I think it's the biggest thing on our cars. Actually,
it's a deep conversation. That
it's definitely it's mad. Ultimately, like the more oil kind of movement you get, and the nicer the shear is, it's going to be easier to drive, and the more aggressive you make it, the harder it is to drive. But it might be faster.
Yeah.
Agreed on both of those.
And when you have grip, you don't mind the aggressiveness, but when you haven't got grip, it spins around.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, if you're you and you've got that talent to feel that, deal with it. But for the rest of us, it just makes something more difficult to drive. One of the biggest things that changed on the original A8, and I know we've discussed it before, was those internal gears, and it was literally a revelation. That car, I don't know whether you remember it. Rumble probably does. It was very tiny, very narrow chassis. But when you look at it now, it looks absolutely ridiculous. How did we get to that?
It's old school.
Launched at that. And that car used to tie itself in knots if you weren't good at driving. And the biggest change we made on that whole platform was those gears.
And which I think is a very good point. I think the car now is much more advanced, where the 1020s, you can get away with it in most places.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
because I think the width of the chassis and So then I guess an on from that thought, which I definitely said, John and I have had this conversation. So then looking at going to 1020 in the truck, that
I mean, for me, it would be a great thing.
I would have thought so. It could be very exciting. I personally
don't believe we've tried it.
I don't believe we've tried it, and I think we're going to like it when we try it.
I think we're going to like it. You've heard it here first.
We'll update that.
The 215T's already sensational. Imagine it. It'd be like cheating.
Oh. Agreed. That could be very good. So,
Next.
Just before we go on to the questions there, Phil Truman's given us a ratio, which he's agreed with, the 2-to-1 and 1.8-to-1. Simon Lee says, looking to step up my controller for this season, looking at the Sanwa M12 or Sanwa MT44. Is there any real difference between the two apart from price and availability? Between them two, not a massive amount of difference. They are difference in size, actually holding it. The M12 does have like a nicer menu and stuff you go through. I always love the M12. It's a great radio. But once you step to like an M17, when you go back to an M12, it feels like you're holding something about this big.
They're a big controller, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Heavy.
So if you haven't got like big hands, I would say an M12 is probably not ideal. When people used to come to me and ask about radios, I would always ask how big their hands were. It was always weird when you're talking to someone online, like, how big are your hands? Are you a big guy?
What forum are you on, you weirdo?
Yeah, and like, what are you on about, you weirdo?
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, because if you're quite big and you get an MT44, it's going to be a bit, I don't know, it might not work. I think the MT44 is okay. It was the old like MT4 that was quite small.
Or the MTS.
Yeah.
The one that's a monster. I'm not good in the Samurai.
M12's a monster.
Don't get the monster.
It's a bit heavy.
It's
and
a
John,
wicked. It feels really nice, but once
this was the whole reason why John literally never went Samoa for how long, was because he
did it for a minute or 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
The M17, if you can afford it, is a beautiful radio.
Yeah. I think also with the controllers, it's a bit of an investment, isn't it? They're all expensive, but it's your only contact patch. It's your only contact with the car, so that can be quite a good step up for people. Low latency, nice ergonomics.
Yeah, the MT44 or the MTS are wicked radios. The M17 is an amazing radio. You won't be far wrong with Samuel, whatever you get, mate. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, and on the topic of, I obviously don't race, but I've had an interesting amount of experience with various different radio manufacturers, and the Samoa stuff is absolutely next level in terms of latency and just how connected it is. Maybe Futaba's got a slightly better menu, or it's a bit easier to go through, or maybe the ergonomics of this, or whatever it may be. But just how connected the Samoa is. I mean, if you pick up a Spectrum radio, you might as well just like mail the inputs, because it's absolutely just.
Do you reckon they put that on their advertising literature? Spectrum.
This is better than a second-class stamp. Not as good as first class.
Exactly. I remember when Spectrum, I mean, I don't want to slag off Spectrum, but I mean, they 2.4 really. But I remember when they brought out their newest radio. It was at OCRC when I first went and I saw it, and all everyone did was just download porn onto it because it was an Android system.
Yeah, I remember.
They're waiting to race. Like, look at this.
I remember also. I think it was.
It's when you're in the road and you say,
"Yeah, exactly." Yeah.
You press the wrong button, mate.
What on earth is that sound? Yeah. I remember I can't remember what it was. It was at Padova. I think it was actually Ollie Curry when we first got the DX6R or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I've just got to reboot my radio because I've got my race coming up in 15 minutes or something." And he was having to let this damn Android software rerun through. I was like, "Is this an upgrade?" I was like, "No."
I mean,
it probably was, because you could watch Debbie Does Dallas on the screen while it was doing the update.
Yeah.
Cool idea. A little bit too early. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Go for someone.
We're going to be here forever if we don't get onto some of these questions. So I think we've done this a little bit before, but it was about clutch adjustment. Sorry. Good Lord. I've had some of Leroy's drink. Overview would be nice in terms of spring adjustment, shoe type and shoe number. Leroy.
Oh man, me again.
Well, because we need to keep it concise. I'd like to throw one out to Rumble, but I've got to choose one.
So what was the question?
Make the right choice.
Clutches. What do you use, basically?
Yeah, basically, what would you do with a clutch? As a newbie coming into Nitro, obviously a clutch is something that doesn't exist. It's the slipper clutch, isn't it, on a 10th scale car in a way? And so why do you do what you do?
So clutches, I mostly run a free shoe. I always like the way a free shoe is. It's very simple to use and work on. basically, rule of thumb: if the track's loose and you don't have much grip and you get a lot of wheel spin, make the springs softer. And then if the more grip you get, increase the spring size, I guess you call it, to allow the engine to rev a bit more before it engages, so you get more punch coming out of a turn. So if it was raining or whatever, I'll be on a point. Well, assuming the track's not sticky, that's a different question entirely. But say if it was a loose track, I'd be on like a 0.9, nice and soft. And then if you're on a very grippy track, you'd probably want to run a 1.1 like John always uses.
Yeah, or if you're John, if your name starts with J, ends with N, surname Hazelwood, put a 1.1 and don't touch it.
I do like 4-shoe clutches, but it's very rare that I found a big benefit over a 3-shoe, and I just think a 3-shoe's a much more solid platform to work with.
Yeah, a couple more. I think the thing about a 3-shoe is they don't really go wrong.
No,
Can't
it's very
really
simple.
go wrong with a 3-shoe.
3 things going on. They've got a good contact area. Like I've struggled a few times with 4-shoe where you'd run like 2 of one material and 2 of another, and it will burn through one quicker than the other. I don't know. And
also, I think another thing that I see, not driving them, but tuning engines and John the same, and yourself, of course, is that the harder
we blow them up and John doesn't.
Yeah. We blow them up. John then sort of does the refund process. So the obviously the harder the clutch spring as well, inherently the easier your engine is to tune.
Yeah.
Or the better tune you can put on an engine, because you can go a little bit higher in the idle. You can get away with the tune quite a lot more with a harder clutch spring, just because it draws the shoes in at a higher.
And it disengages quicker as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get that run on.
You definitely can. You can have a higher idle, and it actually, other than audibly hearing it, it doesn't actually change anything in terms of the performance on the track because the clutch is engaged.
Okay, I'd say it probably won't work. I've got a question for you though, John. Not you, Rumble. You can look the other way. Do you find you get more or less steering with different clutch shoes, springs?
I would say, I think if anything, you would get more steering with a stiffer clutch spring.
Yeah,
because I think it will let the diff. It is dependent on what you're doing with your diffs, but it will let the diff do its thing earlier in its transition between I'm engaged to I'm not engaged.
Okay, interesting.
I'm not engaged.
I'm just throwing that one out there. Like when we play with drag brake and stuff on temp scales, and that affects the way the car steers, which people don't appreciate sometimes.
Yeah, you're 100%. I definitely think it would be a thing. Absolutely, it would be a thing.
Yep. Cool. I won't go too much into that though, because we'll be here forever.
Yes. Okay. So the next one I have on my list is if lockdown doesn't get eased for the Easter race, what's Plan B? When would it be rescheduled to?
This is a question for you.
Yourself, carry on. So I'm gonna stick on Plan A. That's not really Plan A for us, because we had this opportunity to have a race date that is normally DXR's race at Telford Indoor, which we would never try and clash with, because we're there supporting it anyway. So we were really excited at the end of last year to think we're going to have this date. The guys have said they're not going to put a race on. We were hopeful at that point that we could put a full race on. I think we've got over 240 entries now to that race. The reality is, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, as much as that absolutely pains me to say that. I think, we're going to come out of lockdown, hopefully, and I'm sure it's going to be in steps, which will mean that it's probably not appropriate to try and put a race on where there's going to be, if we were 240 entrants in a field, it's probably 500 people in a field. I think that's probably the wrong thing to do and the wrong message to send out to everybody when we're trying as a nation to be together and be responsible with what we're doing. So I think our Easter race will be not what we were hoping to be. It's still going to be awesome. We're still going to have a fantastic race. We're still going to have lots of fun races and all that sort of stuff, hopefully. but it's not going to be in the big numbers that we were hoping to do. And we've got some awesome international stuff lined up, particularly with Leroy again. He knows contacts. He's got some pretty cool people lined up to come and do that race, comparable to a DXR race, which is really sad because it's obviously what we want to be doing. We're trying hard to make something that's the best that can be. But I think it's unrealistic to think that we could probably do that. So I hope that we're going to get a race in at Easter. I don't think it's going to be the big numbers. And so maybe we could look at doing that big number race and, people that have shown interest in doing it. Because the biggest thing that's going to be crappy for us, and we discussed it actually there, we were all at work today together. The biggest thing that's going to be crappy for us is not accepting somebody's entry that wanted to come and do the race, because that's not what we're about. We're trying to do this for everybody. And so that's shitty for me personally. That feels shitty that I'm going to let people down, that we can't get into that race. I think we should reschedule that big race. I think the August bank holiday weekend probably is the one that makes the most sense, because it gives us the biggest time to recover as a race almost from being out. The bit that the caveat to that obviously is it's a Hearts GP weekend. I've always been keen to not try and clash with those guys. We did last year on that very weekend actually. Jim and I discussed it, and they had so many people that they couldn't get into their race that they were kind of happy for us to do a race as well. So my gut tells me that we'll get a cool race in at Easter, which is going to be on lower numbers, and then we'll try and push forward our really big race and really get that push in and get Leroy, flexing his muscles and sending out the kids to get the big guys there for that. I think that feels like a sensible thing. But everything is fluid, like it is with everything right now. I mean, we can't do a race right now, so it's all kind of a bit throw it up there and see. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think the thing is that we will do whatever is morally and legally possible to facilitate and organize. If it's a race with 100 people, we'll have a race with 100 people. If it's with 50, it'll be 50. If it's 200, it'll be 200. Whatever is morally and legally acceptable, and logistically possible within the the given time frame. If lockdown is the day before the race, it's probably not going to be the same as if lockdown eases 1 month before the race. So obviously everyone will be cognitive of that. But we'll do everything we can. The whole reason why we want to do this race, or the Dirt Grand Prix, is to have the premier race at the premier track in the UK, the biggest race of the year. So we will try and facilitate that in whatever capacity that is. So,
and I think we'll still get a great race in.
For sure.
Guy, and I think we will get a race in. I think it'll be good, and I think it will have some of the best drivers in the world at that race as well. Leroy.
Yep. I mean,
are you going to be there? Are you going to get an entry?
I'm going to put my entry in.
Hopeful.
I'm hopeful.
Yes, exactly.
I am hopeful.
I'll take bribes, Lee.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
Race control. This is race control sat here.
I'll tell you what. If the brown envelope's big enough, we're going to have a winner. That is for sure.
But yeah, to answer professionally, yes, as long as we're going to have to follow guidelines, and we're going to go up to that guideline, and what we'll do, we can do. Sit.
Yeah, I mean, like for me,
until we know.
Exactly. I'm happy to fly close to the sun. It's something that I've done most of my life, but on this particular one, I think if we're coming out of lockdown, I think it would be a hard sell to say, we should have 240 people at that race.
Yeah.
So
it'd be a moral question.
Let's see. We'll answer that one again in a few weeks' time, because we'll have a clearer.
Yeah.
Well, I think next week
we all know when we're outdoor like that, the risk is like absolutely minimal, in my personal opinion, for whatever that's worth. But yeah.
Being outdoor, we were outdoor today. Are we talking about that or not?
What were we doing outdoor today? I can't remember.
Well, our big man Phil was walking around the field.
He was. Unfortunately, I did a video that didn't record, and then Rumble's one is a little bit possibly X-rated, possibly.
I didn't see it. I actually don't think it's X-rated.
Which
It's
bit? The bit where you had your penis out in the hedge, or
Oh, well, that bit, yeah. But what about the rest of it?
I haven't had a chance to cut that yet. But it is definitely worth mentioning. Obviously, and we know our last race that we did, we didn't use a PA system, and we've been creative, and we've spoken about this before about what we're going to do to go forward on that. And our solution worked so well today. We had a full proper test, way better than we thought.
Unbelievable.
So we have a radio station basically for Nemo Raceway. You will get handout radios when you book in for your tent, that you can hang up on your tent. They've got like a hook. They will have a hook on them, or you can put them on your table, whatever you might want to be. Tune into the radio. You can also do it on your phone. You can do it on your car. You can do it on anything, and you'll get all of the live whatever's happening. The 1960s Formula One commentary, like Leroy's Rumble and myself for, and also Tony Truman. If we could flag him into doing a little bit, he'll be there making it much more classy than we can do. Rumble.
Sure.
But, you got to try, haven't you, when you're up against the wall?
Yeah.
Works absolutely amazingly. So we'll have that spread through the whole field from corner to corner. It's absolutely crystal clear. So it's actually way better than a PA, like in
Amazing.
altogether. Absolutely crystal clear.
I was so
without it
shocked.
traveling 3 miles down the road, which is what a PA does, unfortunately. So super excited for that. It's great that Leroy's reminded me of my excitement of that.
That today was for me also a big highlight. Obviously, we organising some of the premium dealer stuff was today was a really good day. We organised the premium dealer sort of beginning for the UK, but the radio announcement, it worked unimaginably well.
Who's at the side of your screen then? Who do we need to know is going to?
I think that was his arm.
Picture. Oh, it was me. It was my hand. I was gesticulating.
I was hoping it was Mother Rumble or someone that was going to come into shot.
No, sadly not. To be fair, if someone comes into shot, right now, that will end in tears.
Exactly.
It will be two very old people.
So moving forward at the races,
it was amazing.
Radios, which are going to be, there's an FM's channel. We're going to be applying to Ofcom for that. So you'll be able to tune in to anything that can have an FM radio. I think you can get apps on your phone that do that as well. We'll have live RC as well, which you can tune into, and it's hear exactly the same things on live RC and see the timing and all that sort of stuff. You're also going to have the big screen opposite in the pit lane to know what's going on. And then we're working on a couple of further very big screens as well that are going to make it super, super simple and easy for everyone to know what's going on.
And obviously, the reason for this, as opposed to just obviously we've got live video, we've got live video, live broadcasting, live race timing through Live RC or through our partnership with Live RC, which is absolutely just step above anything I've experienced. So really pleased to to have got my head around that, and we're using that. Really pleased to be working with those guys. But the issue is obviously we could theoretically feed in all of the race announcements into the online feed, but there's about a 30-second delay, so that's not great. Radio, however, like Goodwood Festival of Speed or some history trip in the Spanish castle, it will, there's no delay, and you can hear it so crisp.
We've decided it's good. We've got 5 minutes to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the ones on the side questions. So,
oh dear,
got a great PA system that's not a PA system that everyone's going to love and go, oh my god, that's much better than a PA system. That's good. Next one, 3 gamma bodies. What's the difference? And I'm going, Leroy, that's for you.
Go. So stocky gamma body for the nitro car. Good on high bike conditions. Doesn't produce massive amounts of downforce, so it's good on AstroTurf and stuff because it doesn't make the car grip too hard. Move that on. So A319 E-body. E-body has a little bit more of a cab. It definitely gives you a bit more steering out the car, but it doesn't jump quite as well. But it does give you a bit more steering, a bit more corner speed. LMR FT is taking that to the extreme. It gives you great amounts of steering and corner speed, and actually the big cab is pretty damn good at jumping too. So if you're looking for a lot of steering, a lot of grip, LMR FT. If you don't want to have much grip and you want it to jump super calm and placid, you want to run the stock body. And if you're looking for something in between, you want to run the A319E body.
And the FT body looks the best.
It does.
It looks the raciest.
It does look the races. I do like the E buggy body, but the FT one just takes it for me. It's just beauty.
Yeah.
She's a beauty.
I
Takes
knew I
place.
could rely on you. I ran to make sure I could kind of do my wee as I needed to do a wee.
That's lucky.
Yes, exactly. Next, 6 mix delivery. Accessories are in, and tyres are probably a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
Leroy, you think that's about
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Caster and kick up can affect weight transfer significantly. Which to tweak, when and why? Well, that's a big question. Should we save that one up for next week?
We'll push that for Ron.
Yeah, we're not going to be racing.
It's a very good question. I'm gonna not tick that, and then we can come back to it when we're looking for stuff to fill next.
Yeah. We can do a tune it on it. The tune it's almost done for today. I know we ran out a bit of time, but it's going to go on in the morning with tune it.
Nice. Okay, so how best to deal with driving off camber corners? And that's a good question, because
Slow.
they are bloody tricky, and that's the answer, isn't it? Just slow.
So I actually learned. My first outdoor track was Hampshire Raceway AstroTurf track, and it was one of the only tracks back then that had like an island off camber corner, whereas you could get up on top and you could stay up on top and do a hairpin, or if you went a bit too fast, you fell off the earth. Yep. And that taught me from a very, very early age that you go slow, you stay up tight, you don't let the car wash out, and that will be the fastest way possible. If you go too hot into it, you've just blown it. So,
and I was interested to hear that, because I would say that you're one of the best I've seen on off camber stuff, and I'm definitely one of the worst I've seen on off camber stuff, because I just arrive, 10 miles an hour too quickly, and then you think, oh God, why am I down there? And there's 2 seconds gone. So
you say that
device.
You say that, but I think you're one of the best when Nemo Raceway, where you do the double one and you hook up on that off camber one.
It's because I've done a million laps.
But I
learned to be patient.
My line's a bit different from everyone else's, where I kind of drop in deep, square it off, and come across it more.
Yes, I like that bit. I feel good on that bit of track. But ordinarily, listen to Leroy. Just go in slow and then come out hard.
There you go. Going slow. You make sure you complete the turn. If you don't complete the turn and you get on the throttle too early, it still goes wrong. So complete the turn before coming on the throttle. Yes.
I've got one about tyre patterns as well, which is we keep saying we're going to do a video on that, and now we're getting to a point where we can get back out on the track.
Yep.
I think that we'll save that one for that.
Yep.
Okay, so this was a good question, and it was the fuel tube in someone's fuel tank had split or done whatever, and they'd struggled to change the fuel tube in their tank. Do we have any tips how to pull that through?
Obviously, this is to do with our car and any car out there that has a clunk tank with this particular fuel tube all the way through, because like a Muga tank has a separate piece. Yeah.
Rumble, I'm going to throw it to you.
Lid off.
Words.
Lid off, long nose pliers, bring the line all the way through, put the clunk in, withdraw the line back out, drop of glue where the line exits the tank, so it's a fixed tank point. That's it. Done. Job done.
It was 30, but I think that's perfect.
So just to progress on that a little bit, when you put the drop of glue on?
Yes. That is purely for EFRA ruling,
okay.
I believe. And it just stops. It stops if for whatever reason.
Somebody just growl, or someone got a cat or something that made a weird noise.
It's obviously my dog snoring.
Out.
I kicked him out, but he was scratching the door, and that was more annoying than snoring.
Okay, fair enough.
Can't win.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that if you put the glue on, it didn't like over harden and make the fuel tube crispy. I've never put it on fuel tube.
Literally a dot, nothing more, and not in the UK. Ignore my comment. To be fair about the glue, only worry about
you do what Lee does and just put a new tank in because you've already ruined it.
Right. One quick one, which I've just come just before we potentially.
Just before you move on there, I'm amazed how good the actual tank and fuel tube is. Like I've never had to replace it.
Agreed. It's not something that I normally do either.
No, it sounds like. I mean, I used to replace fuel tube all the time because it would wear, but our fuel tube and stuff seems really, really good for that.
Yeah,
it's good.
Consistent.
And something, a word of caution: if you choose to use different fuel tube, is the internal diameter of the tube is very often different.
Yeah.
your engine will be different, or your engine will have to do more work to bring that fuel up if the line is got a thinner diameter for the hole.
Fuel tube is crucial. Don't buy some cheap.
It gives your whole world hurt.
Also, if it's too flexible, it can actually suck it and close it, can't it?
Yeah.
So many things with fuel tube is
fuel tube is so you can easily get that wrong. That's for sure. Just quickly,
run stock or run the 6-mix black. Both of those are very good. Yeah.
So just quick, this is just from the YouTube side, is just from Mike Hunt, which just says radio's a good idea, but finals need commentary to make some atmosphere. It's through necessity rather than choice.
But also everyone's going to have their radio next to the track. It's going to have the same atmosphere.
Exactly. There will be live commentary that actually will be better than a PA in every way.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you're quite rightly saying that it's not by choice, although we think we've got a better alternative than a PA.
Yeah.
It's
fun sometimes when you actually have a problem to navigate, which obviously it's a necessity for us. We've actually come across a nugget of gold.
Yes.
I had a very wise man once say to me that a problem gives you the opportunity to prove your worth, and that's a good example of that. If we can't do that, what can we do that's different? And different doesn't need to be worse; it can be better.
Yep.
What's that? Mr. Rumble, this was to you. When are the opening bookings for season pitches?
I think I sent back a jokey response saying, "Did you not get the email?" When are we opening the bookings?
Very soon. Very soon.
Yeah.
After the 22nd, we'll answer that question in full.
Yeah.
Is it likely that you're going to need to show proof of vaccine jab at the race, our first race?
We will follow the legal guidelines, and we don't know what they are yet.
I think
so
any
we
of
can
us
only
are going to
guess.
have it at that stage.
Yeah.
Depends which vaccine as well.
Wow,
Yeah, exactly. So, it's an unanswerable question. If it's required, yes. If it's not required, no. We know that sort of sensibly. Next.
How much is the entry fee likely to be for the upcoming Nemo race?
Also,
it's going to be a bargain because we've not managed to get the roof on the place.
Yeah,
it'll be a bargain for 4 days racing and frolics and COVID barbecued food and all those other good things that we're going to have at that race.
And we'll all be happy to get back out. Get back out to a proper race.
Do the race, then we can definitely finalize those little bits. But we'll make it as good a value as can be.
We don't want we want to under promise and over deliver.
Yep.
There we go. I've got no more questions, so it's over to Leroy or yourself to read them out from the side. Take it away.
Yeah. So we're pretty much done, aren't we? Is that it?
Yeah. Just I've seen one. When you get a roof, will you be getting lights so racing can go on to the night / later than normal? So obviously we have got planning regulations like every track, everything in the UK. So obviously at times when it gets darker than 6, our planning runs from 8 till 6. So when it gets darker before 6 o'clock, we will be running into the dark, and we'll be running at 6 o'clock. When it's not dark at 6 o'clock, we'll be finishing at 6 o'clock. And you know what? That is a good thing, because like the problem, it's a necessity. However, having been to a lot of races, the best experience is when you are done. 6 o'clock, you can actually
have a shower,
washed, relax for a moment.
I would like to know where Mike Hunt normally races.
Yes. Mike Hunt, how's referee going to work at a national? I don't know whether Mike Hunt's actually a real person or
for national races, we will have a traditional PA system.
Yeah, as per the national.
I'd like to know where you race, Mike Hunt.
Yeah, it would be good to know. I'm sure we could help you out if you've got any further questions as well.
Yes, absolutely. Leroy, anything else on the side that you've seen?
Any plans to stream races live on here for sure.
We could do.
For sure. Obviously, actually, the thing about Live RC is at the minute, I understand there's a big backlog for them, or they've got an issue with bulk uploading streams to YouTube. However, in the future, once that's navigated, actually all of our races, all of our live broadcasts will be automatically published onto YouTube. And we will then obviously publish these into our channel as well.
That feature of Live RC is one of the coolest things that I saw like last year when it was all fully functional, that you could literally delve into a race somewhere after it's happened, choose the heat that you wanted to look at the results for, and clip it into that was actually the video from that heat, which is absolutely fantastic. When I was following what Ryan was doing in America, that was absolutely genius, because you literally could see the whole thing as if you'd watched it live. And like you say, I know they stumbled across a change in YouTube, which they're working with, but that will get rectified, and that's cool, because it means anything that's at Nemo Raceway, you can go into your heat, your final, your everything else, and you'll be able to see whatever we captured on our Nemo cam.
Yeah, and we went through, you know, we like in true Nemo style, we tried to go proper with the camera. We went in deep with the camera. That's got a really good, you know, obviously for the people that have seen the streams, you know, really good wide angle without any distortion, and it's, you know, it's like a 4K camera. We definitely dropped some bank on it, so hopefully we'll have some really good streams.
More important, where has Mike Hunt gone? He seems to have disappeared. I haven't seen a reply yet.
Oh,
It's funny that.
we have to hunt him down.
Or you could use your real name, possibly,
Yeah.
and not hide behind something. If you are real, I'm very sorry. And,
Yeah, to be fair, sorry if you are real, but you're not.
As soon as you see things like how's the referee going to cope at a national, it probably means someone that knows what goes on at a national. And I'm fairly sure
I don't know of a Mike Hunt
at a national.
No, well, there are a few.
Yes, indeed. One of them's on that bombshell. Leroy, have we got anything else before we upset anybody else?
No, I don't think so, chaps. I think we've bored these guys to tears for long enough.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you
Can
for
we
watching.
get any more thumbs up
As ever,
before you head off?
Smile and a cuddle. Any of you that know us know what we're like in real life too, and love doing RC and trying to help everybody out doing RC. So that's got to be a good thing, I think.
Yeah, we'd love to welcome you all to Nemo when we can. It'll be got good times ahead.
Yes.
When they begin.
When they begin. So, Leroy, send it out, me old mucker.
We're sending it out. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Go over and subscribe, share. Maybe your friends want to watch. Other than that, we are going to have an exciting week, and we'll be back next week to tell you all about it. Tell you all the races we've been to and all the podiums and trophies we've won. So,
and then I woke up.
and then we woke up from lockdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, all the best, guys, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Take care, everybody.
Catch you soon, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.